everybody, and thank you for joining me to another exciting episode of This Week in Real Estate. If you recall last week, it was kind of an abridged version, just trying to key you in on a couple key items as I was running around, and I'll try to keep this one short. It's a regular version, if you will, but very busy week. So get to the market report first. So Delaware County has seen some movement up and down just slightly. So 129 active listings on the market, while there are 148 pending. So kind of a drop in pending, so that means to me that those have, from last week, from pending went to sold. So Randolph County has seen an uptick here recently in the last week or so in listings slightly, so we're up to 37. I can't remember last time we were over 40, so we're approaching that. And then pending was about the same as last week, so we're sitting at 43 pending listings. So on to the good, the bad, and the ugly. So a lot of good things this week. It was, or still is, still going on. It is fair week, so a lot of running around with business and personal going on. So Lydia had a very good week, if you will, with her projects that she submitted, and got a couple of awards and things like that, so that's exciting for her. She did a very good job. Abram the other day showed, I think it was six of our chickens, and they all did really well. One especially, who won grand champion for her division, Little Hen. So that was fun to see him out there talking to the judge and doing just, again, a really good job there. And then Solomon is not quite involved yet, although he loves going to the fair because he gets to basically run amok and eat all the candy that he can find. So he's living his best life at the fair as well. And then today is kind of our culmination with the bunny show, and so both Lydia and Abram will be doing their bunny showing today, and that starts here in a couple hours, so that will be fun for them. And then work-wise at the fair, we do have a booth set up in the commercial building, so I try to man that as much as I can. We hand out some candy, some pins, and we sign up for an ice cream maker. This year I've done that for the past couple of years, and then yesterday, since it was so hot, it's pretty warm, and during my fair booth shift I decided to make some ice cream as well right there. And it was my first time trying peanut butter ice cream, and it was, in my opinion, very good, and also added some Nutter Butters in there as well, because why not? And that seemed to go over well for some passerbys and some kids and stuff like that. So, and I had some too, and I thought it was good. And then also on, I think it was Monday, we also, Wagner's as a team, if you will, was able to go in early and cook breakfast for everybody at the fair, and that's always an early time, but also always a good time, and love to help everybody out that way. So other kind of business things, finished up a couple BPOs, or went on a couple appointments for those, broker price opinions, people just trying to see what the market's doing, get valuations on their property. And then also had an auction pickup in Muncie that went pretty well, and wrote an offer yesterday for sale by owners. Side note, we do work for or with for sale by owners, and I have a call back here in about an hour with them to see if we can work that one out. And then a new listing out that came out today, or the other day, in Farmland on Angling Road, and very nice listing there. Basically almost an entire brand new house from top to bottom, so that was a nice listing. We've had 3 scheduled showings, all happening today, so we'll see what happens there. On to the bad. So the bad, we usually complain about the weather just because we can't do anything about it, and so obviously it's been very hot, and then you know, we kind of pray for rain, and then we get rain. It's all in one day, and it's like 4 to, and some places around here, 9 inches of rain in one day. So like I said, we'll just you know, complain, but you know, we did need that rain, so I guess you can't complain too much, but it would be nice if it was spread out a little bit. And then another bad thing, and we'll work through it, it's just actually the first time I've ever run into it, to where during the title work, part of the title work is to making sure the legal description is correct and the county has the correct one, things like that. Ran into one where it was basically, there's been so many splits over the years. I'm talking like the last 100 years. Maybe it started out as a 100-acre parcel, and then it went to 2 40s and a 20, and then one of the 40s they carved off 10 acres, and that 10 acres went down to a couple building lots, and that building lot was combined and split later on, stuff like that. That gets all confusing, and evidently something may not have been done correctly at some point, and so title company says, hey, we have a problem, and I think a survey is going to solve it, and so we're getting that in process. So just to give you a little insight, if I can, like a normal legal description, like let's say an in-town legal description, it may just be like Cunningham Edition lot number 7. That's the legal description. Pretty well easy because that one's platted and they have different lot numbers, stuff like that. Once you get out in the country, it's a little bit different because obviously you have more acreage to deal with, and that may be a couple lines of a legal description describing where the beginning point is and how many feet to the next point, and excluding this and excluding that, whatever. So that may be a couple lines. Maybe in a more complicated one, maybe a paragraph of a few lines. The prior situation, there were 2.5 pages 2.5 pages of that. So that's why it got confusing and things are kind of muddy, and why a new survey may need done and may solve everything. So the ugly, so been in a couple ugly houses, and I didn't take pictures or anything like that, but just really rough houses. And one you really feel bad about. The owner had basically been scammed by a contractor, and so contractor went in, tore everything out as he was supposed to. So got things down to certain rooms to the studs, and it was going to be a whole house basically remodel, and then took the rest of the money and bailed. And so you hate to see that, and they're just kind of in a pickle at this point, because they have some of the material that the contractor delivered. Some, I don't know if he even ordered, he just took the money or what he did, and then they have a house that's not livable. I mean, the main level is completely down to the studs and needs rewired and replumbed. There's no kitchen, no bathroom, things like that. So I just hate to hear that. So that's the ugly side of real estate. And so it doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen sometimes. But coming up, so we'll look forward to things. So lots of showings scheduled. Really was at the fair last night, on my phone a lot, just scheduling different showings for today, tomorrow, and over the weekend. And so those are coming up. And then Farmland Friends has their basically one-day vacation Bible school tomorrow. No, not tomorrow, on Saturday. And so that should be fun. Rachel's kind of heavily involved in that. I don't know my role yet. I think I'm either staying at home taking care of things or showing up and taking care of things. I don't know. We'll find out later. But and then more cooking. We have a youth group party at the pool this weekend. I'll be cooking for that, and actually I probably should have brought back the cooking quarter with Curtis this week between ice cream and this, but so that'll be fun. And then scheduled to list a property in Lynn. Supposed to happen this week. Something came up, so it's going to be pushed into next week. And then also have a couple kind of appraisals and BPOs scheduled for next week as well. So that's it. It's a longer version again. Sorry, it's about 9 minutes or so long. Thank you for again checking these out with me. And then, as always, if you have any comments or questions, leave those below, and I will reach out to you or just answer them there as well. So until next time, I'll see you.